Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. So it's Monday, the 28th of March. And I really am excited. I want you guys to know it may not look like it because I was battling coming on or not. I've been on and off and on and off and on and off. And there's really been a reason for it. Um, I I was having an issue of like still too much of me, but I know it was more so like being disobedient. Like, to be honest with you, God was telling me to stay in who I am, but I was having like a little bit of battle with it because it's like, that thing of not feeling like, you know, not that you're not important, but it's like, oh, it's just life for me. Like I didn't been through ups and downs. I didn't been through a lot, but it's like it's just life. But he also talked to me about his life, but aren't you still living? So today I had therapy, and I really, I've been in therapy for over a year now. Yeah, wonderful thing. And the first time I actually told my therapist something that I really never told anybody. I was speaking to my sister today. She never even knew. So when I was younger, I watched somebody commit suicide, right? Crazy. And I also been shot at as a kid. Um, I've escaped death from an elevator falling down flights of stairs, still survived. You know, had crazy sexual attacks. And I was telling my therapist all of these things, and he said something to me that I knew, but it's something totally different when you have someone say it to you, that I've survived them. And for that, I am grateful. So I was battling, like, coming on of, like, nobody really wants to hear, my story or anything like that. And that's such a false lie, because we all sit here and we have some things that's bottled up in us that we just don't feel is important to let come out, because some of the times you think that people are going to judge you. I'm living in an area now that I don't care if people judge me, because more importantly, I'm alive. I'm alive. I've lived through, and that's just some of my story, some of my testimony. I'm alive. And for that, I am so grateful. And it lets me know this is where I get to boast on God and say, He still brought me through. He never left me. He didn't let me fall. He has me here for a reason. But the enemy will have you so bottled up with some of them things that you don't want to tell anyone, and it leads to more things. It's like putting a cap on something but sealing it off a little bit. After a while, it goes rotten. And I know for me, that's what kind of had me go into some addictions, because it was like, who do I tell without feeling like they're going to judge me? Excuse me, guys. I've been going hoarse for like the past 2 days now, and I really believe we need to sit and tell our stories, not only to a therapist, because getting therapy, I'm telling you, therapy will save your life. It will save your life. However, we also need to tell someone outside of our therapy. Tell your story. One of the reasons why I started my channel was like, I'm going to just talk about life. I'm going to talk about what happened. We all know how I started my YouTube channel. That's not even here right now, but I started it because I wanted to talk about life, we hold so much things in, and when we hold them things in, we don't realize that it actually is like waste that need to be let out so we can help someone else do it. Don't never feel like because you're going through something that you can't help someone through their own situation, because you telling your story help someone see that, wow, they're going through life too, but they're choosing to deal with it. They're choosing to still live. They're choosing to open up their mouths. It's a choice in life. We can choose to sit and act like we don't want to deal with anything, and feel like I don't want to, if I just leave it alone, it'll go away. No. We hoard our own problems and situations and circumstances sometimes because we don't want to actually deal with it and get it cleaned out and removed. It doesn't mean that, you're trying to just cart it away like it's nothing, but dealing with it helps so when it comes up, you can recognize signs. That's why I ask God all the time, help me with discernment. Give me discernment. Help me to actually, is this something that I need to deal with this way or that way? Because I'm going to deal with it, but there's multiple ways of dealing with things. First, my main thing is I always go and I pray and I give everything to God, and then he comes back and he lets me know how to deal with it. I never, 1 year being in therapy, I never told and I'm trying not to cry, I deal with emotions now, but I never told my therapist this. Watching this person kill themselves changed a whole lot for me. And, if I brought it up mainly to him because I had my own suicidal thoughts, And then when you have an addict brain, a lot of us do not want to be addicts. Like I said before, we don't raise our hands in class and say, what do you want to be today? I want to be an addict when I grow up. We don't. But I'm looking back over my life at incidents that I never dealt with that kind of caused for me to take on hitting copanisms, if I'm saying it right, to deal with issues. So it was like, instead of me dealing with life the right way, and even saying I needed therapy or let me just talk to someone, I didn't. I masked it with addictions. I masked it with hurt. I masked it with anger. But if you knew me, I had this smile on my face. It was just a facade, like crazy. So me not coming on for a while was something that I was like, God, I'm going to come off. I'm going to be obedient. I'm not going to come on. But in this process, I need you to reveal to me some things that I need to do. And my last thing of when I stopped was I was on instructions. So I said, God, when you give me all these instructions, help me to actually deal with them. Help me to actually, listen to what you need said. So in this time off, I've been dealing with real life issues. And the one thing I can honestly say is I thank God for it. Even in the bad parts of them, in some crazy circumstances and craziness, I've learned to thank him in it all. I learned to be grateful in it all, because the main thing of it is I'm still here. So when you like, why do you be so happy, and what do I have to be happy for? And if you only knew my circumstances, if you only knew mine is different than yours, stop thinking like that, because I thought like that for years. No, be grateful that you are still here. God needs you for a reason. So stop looking at the circumstances in the situation and just be grateful that you are here. He has you here for a reason. Open yourself up and talk with someone. Stop trying to hold it all in. You can't do it. It's going to erupt at some point. It's going to erupt at some point. So deal with your issues. Deal with everything. I guarantee you, will it hurt? Yeah. And I guarantee that. You know why it's going to hurt? Because for your first time, you're going to be wanting to deal with something, but you ain't going to realize it was that hard until you start going with it. With dealing things, you don't realize. It's like the card game. You get dealt the hand, and then you didn't realize you just off back door. Oh yeah, I can win with this, and then something just switched, and then you got to keep on playing. I always say, and I don't even know how it came about, but when I just was saying, you got to pray to win, and you got to pray all the time. Open yourself up to just being renewed. I didn't even know what that meant for a while. Like, not really grasping how God was saying it to me. But what is it when God tells you that you're going to be better than what you even can imagine? Sitting here last year, I wouldn't imagine any of this. I didn't know how to be at peace. I didn't know how to really be at ease, to really rest, to be beyond grateful. And dealing with everything that I've been dealing with in life, the one grateful thing that I can tell him, that outside of the thank you, is I trust you. I trust every bit of this process that he's been showing me. And dealing with these things have been so eye-opening, because I thought it was going to be like crazy hard. Like, if I just don't deal with it, won't nobody know. I thought that it wouldn't even bother me. No. But then once I started dealing with it and it was hard and difficult, I'm like, what are you doing, God? You're telling me to do this, and this is hard. But in the midst of me acknowledging it and bringing it up, he gave me peace. So it's like, how do I have peace in a storm? How do I have a calmness in a storm? How do I have just an assurance that everything is going to be fine in this dealing? And it came from me opening up my mind and my heart for him to just do whatever he's doing in it. And more importantly, for me to like let go and not have to do the work. This is where I get to just not really have to do anything but open up my mouth and talk and get the things out of me so he can show me what it is in this dealing. So I am grateful for a lot of what's going on. Not a lot, all of it. All of it. My calmness is something that I nobody but him can give me. So I only take credit for the fact that I get to be calm, but I didn't do it. It's all him. Deal with your issues in life. I will promise you this. You do get peace out of it. Things come up and I don't have like these kind of crazy triggers that I used to have, not wanting to deal with things or mask it with like bitterness, hurt, craziness. Like, you don't know what I've been through, blah 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 blah. To when I used to say that, you don't know what I've been through. The reality of it was I didn't even know really what I've been through, because I didn't even want to bring it up and acknowledge it all, because a lot of the stuff was really crazy. However, dealing with it opened me up on being aware of what can be a trigger point, or what can kind of set you off. So life does happen. It really does. We can't stop life. And I really don't want to stop life. I've been growing in ways of just, he's beyond doing something. I really can't explain it. So yes, life is hard. You're going to be dealing with a lot in life. But massing it with alcohol, drugs, pills, you know, even people. Because sometimes when we are going through life, you mask it with a distraction. Put it like this. So you'll cling to people, you'll cling to comfortable places, and then we all know things that they're empty fulfillments. Be around someone that's going to stretch you. So if you want to be around people, go around people who do nothing you do, but is where you want to be. Surround yourself with people who you want to be, and not be, but where you want to go and be a doctor. You don't go hang around someone who's sitting there just playing and sitting there on the bench chilling all day. Yeah. So if you want to be productive in life, you got to hang around productive people. If you want to go and you want to open up a business, you don't go into a place that can't help you with it. You get what I'm saying? So go where you're going to be uncomfortable, because we all know you grow in areas where you're uncomfortable because you're being pushed to a limit that you were never pushed to before. You can't grow in an area that you think you already got, but you want to do it your way. So I go into the places that make me feel uncomfortable. If I say I don't want to do it, that's where I'm at. Literally, I grow in areas where I don't want to be. God uses me. I don't want to do half of the things he tell me to do, but yet I still find myself doing it. And I had to tell him at night, God, I thank you. And what I tell you, I say it in some of the sweetest tones ever. It'll be a lie. But I still thank him, and I tell him, I don't know what you're doing with this, but I guess I got to thank you. It's not like I got an attitude with him. I don't be knowing why. But it's also not really meant for me to know why. He tell me to do it. I'm not going to talk back. I'm going to do it because at the end of the day, I'm here to please him, not no one else. And he's been doing so much in me that I'm so grateful for. You got to go back and you got to reach someone else. You know, you got to go and reach the people who you won't even think that you need to be reaching. Because you get so used to thinking that your story isn't beneficial, and it truly is. It benefits you to open up your mouth and tell your story. And a lot of the times you'll find out that it may not even be your love members, your family members, your loved ones. But I can honestly say that's not true for me. I've been telling a lot that a lot of my family members have been going through the same issue, and that's why I believe sometimes we pick up things because we just think because we all grow up in the same family, and this isn't necessary, siblings and everything. It could be aunts, uncles, cousins, and everything, but nobody really talks, and you pick up things because instead of you opening up your mouth and talking, you just want to fix everything yourself. And you can't, but I can tell you there's a blessing in all of your mess, all of your struggles, all of your trials and tribulations. There are blessings in them. God, he didn't just bring you through just for you to be like, okay, I'm going to just have you here. Just stay here, and nothing for you. He's going to bless you in all of this. So what you think is a mess and you're all over the place and you're hot and you just feel like, oh, you got me here to do nothing. It's truly not. What are you going to do? You're going to get up and you're going to keep on pressing on what he needs you to do. And it could be just it starts slow. So if it's where you say, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for a while and God said he's going to bless me, why isn't it happening right away? It didn't take you one day for you to go through what you went through and for God to bring you out. It's going to take some time. So if it seems like it's slow to come in, please trust him that it's going to come. He's going to move and transition you in places, but you just don't see it. But I can guarantee you people around you see it. And they're going to want what you want. They're going to want what God has given you. So God needs his glory to come up out of you for people to see, not yours. Because a lot of the times we want it to be so fast that we lose sight of who actually is doing it for us. And you can't lose sight of God. Look, I can truly tell you, he saved me from a lot. So it's not slow in coming. And I wrote it down too. It's not going to be slow in coming. There's instructions that have to come with it. And a lot of the times he could be preparing you to meet up with who he needs you to go out and be of service to. And then not only that, he has somebody else who's quite not ready for the service he needs them to do for you. Because at the end of the day, it's all for him. So he knows exactly what is going on. So don't be so quick on saying, I didn't change my life, God. Now you're supposed to bless me. He's blessed you already, but he's not a God of one blessing. He blesses, like he says, abundantly. Like a lot of us take what he says, now go and be fruitful and multiply. We take it just in having kids. That's not what it's all meant for. When he tells you to go and be a blessing and go multiply, it's more than that. So it's going to be multiplying your thinking, your health, your family, your finances, your education. There's so many things that you can kind of put that to. But when he tells us instructions, we got to really listen to him and we really got to do it. Don't be thinking that things are going slow, that God's not moving. He moves more than you move. Are you really moving? Are you really moving? So don't be ashamed or afraid of telling your story. Open up and talk about it. And you may not even get it all out there at one time. It's going to be multiple layers to you. We're like onions. We got to be peeled back a layer at a time. Sometimes we break apart, but still keep going for it. And in the midst of everything that's going on, just keep on continuing staying grateful. Keep on continuing saying thank you. No matter what. He done brought you this far. He's not going to leave you. There's so much more he needs from you. You're on an assignment, and half of the time you don't even realize that you are. Because it's not really even about you. It's about the service he needs done for him so people can see he did it in you. We're just a walking, breathing miracle that's going along. We're the servers. We're the servers, but he's the one that has done it for us. So don't be so quick to give up on your assignment. Keep on pushing. You pushed through when you were trying to do all the things you shouldn't have done. So keep pushing for this assignment that he has you on. So, and even when you think it's just one assignment, trust me, he's a God of multitude. He can do multiple things at one time because you're one. So he has just you being the one, but he has multiple things that he's doing in your life. So be a part of your own growth by just trusting him and doing what he needs to be done. I'm sorry if this wasn't like a feel-good message for you. But we all know my journal process is just a true thing for me. I just was coming on to tell you the truth. Does it hurt? Yeah. Do you grow in it? Oh, yeah. Will you come out better? Definitely, yeah. So live your truth. Get down to the bottom of what is actually going on. Deal with what God needs you to deal with. Be opened up. And don't worry about who, whatever people, places, and things are saying about you. Because you do get that. You do get it from people. But more importantly, you can't go off of what man says about you. You can only go off of what God said, because he's the trustworthy God. He's not a man that lies. He's not going to let you down. He's not going to fail you. And how about this? He don't hold a grudge. So You need to be in position for what he's doing in your life. Be grateful, keep moving, keep trusting him. And I can't wait to see what God is going to do in your life. I can't wait. I applaud everything. So if you feel like you don't have somebody to support you, most of y'all got my numbers. Y'all at least have me here on Instagram. I'm a big supporter of it. Don't feel like because you fell that you can't get back up and keep going. Yes, you can. You definitely can do that. We all sit there when babies first learn how to walk. We sit there, and one of the people who I follow, they just said the same exact thing that I'm saying, that we applaud babies falling and getting back up and keep on going. Don't applaud yourself that you didn't got up and you're going to keep on pressing to the mark. Keep on. Don't look at it yourself as a failure. Nothing about you is a failure, especially when you're willing to keep on going and keep on pushing in life. Change your mind so that you can keep on doing what God needs you to do. It starts with that mind. Get your mind intact. A lot of us already know I'm reading Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Myers. It's a great book. Get the book in the study guide. I promise you, a lot of you will change just from reading it. So you guys have a good evening. I'm going to push to be back on next Monday. And we know I normally do it at 7. I was having my moment, but I'm glad that I was obedient and came on tonight, because I can just say thank you, God, that I listened. So you guys have a good one. Stay blessed. Keep your mind right. And go through all the dealing that you need to so that God can use you. He still wants you. He loves you. And more importantly, he cares so much for you. Good night.